Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello all students in Dروس service which is targeted to the third secondary grade first semester. Our lesson today is Unit 4, Form, Meaning and Function from Mega Goal 5, prepared and presented by Noura As-Sufyani. So welcome all of you and I need all your concern. We'll learn today comparative and superlative forms of adjectives. How can we make comparison? How can we compare between two things or among different things or people? First of all, we have three persons. We have Laura, Alan, and Mike. Laura is 12 years old. Alan is 7 years old. Mike is 10 years old. Who is the oldest person? Who is the oldest person? Do you think that Laura is the oldest, Alan is the oldest, or Mike? Here we have 12 years, 7 years, and 10 years. Of course, Laura is the oldest because she is 12 years old. After that, we have, Mike. Mike is younger than Laura. And Alan here is the youngest. He is the youngest. He is the youngest person here because he is 7 years old. So if we ask this question, who is the oldest person here, we can say that Laura because she is 12 years old. Is Alan younger than Mike? Now we want to compare Alan with Mike, only Alan with Mike. So is Alan younger than Mike? Alan is 7 years, Mike is 10 years. Of course, yes. So Alan is younger than Mike. Alan is younger than Mike. Alright? So here we compare Alan with Mike. Alan and Mike. Alright? So our lesson today is about, how can we form comparative and superlative. Comparative, two persons or two things. Superlative, one among many people or thing among different things or place among different places. So here this is the meaning of comparative and superlative. First of all, we have short adjectives. We have short adjectives like what? Like here, small, big, nice, short, long. Why do we call them short adjectives? Because this word consists of one syllable, We pronounce it as one word, small, or as a part here. Small, big, nice, short, long, one syllable. For these short adjectives, if we have the adjective clean, what is the comparative form of the adjective clean? It's cleaner than, cleaner than. So for the short adjective, we add er if we want to compare between two things or two person or whatever. We have to add er and followed by than, alright? But what about superlative form? More than two. Superlative form means one, more than two. So here we have the cleanest, the cleanest. We add the, then the adjective, then est, the cleanest. What about small here? Small. The comparative form will be smaller and the superlative form will be smallest, alright? What about big? Comparative form is bigger than and the superlative the biggest. But here we have to be careful about that G here. We have to duplicate the G. What about short? Shorter than, the shortest. Long, longer than, the longest. Alright, so these are the short adjectives. Let's see the picture here. We have ice cream or different flavors of ice cream. The first sentence here is that the ice cream is good. The ice cream is good. This ice cream is good. This strawberry ice cream is better than the vanilla one. Okay, here the comparison is in this group the two kinds of ice cream. The first one is strawberry ice cream, and this is the vanilla one. All right, the vanilla ice cream, vanilla flavor. Better. We use the comparative form, better. So the comparative form of God is better. What about the third group here? The ice cream with chocolate sticks is the best. The ice cream with chocolate sticks is the best. Here, okay, we have 1, 2, 3 kinds of ice cream. The first one here is the best because here we have the chocolate sticks. The superlative form of God is best. So the best, all right? So here God, better than, the best. You understand the difference between superlative and comparative form? Okay. What about irregular comparative and superlative adjectives? As you seen in the previous slide, we talk about God, which is better and best. These are irregular. Here we have positive. For example, well, good. Well, good. The comparative is better, and here the best. We mean by well something related to the health, okay? So if you want to make a comparative, we can say that better than. Superlative, we say that the best, okay? Also good. If we want to describe something, the quality of something, we can say that it's good, all right? And if we want to make a comparative form, we say better, and the superlative is the best. For example, for well, we can say that Khalid is well now. Well now. He's okay. Alright? He's not sick. Okay, so if we want to make a comparative between Khalid and Fahad, we can say that Khalid is better than Fahad. I mean, okay, in his health. Okay? If we want to make the superlative, we can say Khalid is the best, all right? Far distance, all right? We can say for the comparative form, farther than or further than. Farther than or further than, all of them are correct. For the superlative, we can say the farthest or the furthest, all right? We add here est and her. All here indicates two meaning. The member in the family or the age, all right? So here we can say that older or elder, older or elder. What about the superlative? The oldest or the eldest, the oldest or the eldest. Bad also for the quality here, we can say comparative, worse, this is irregular, and the superlative, the worst, okay? Use words such as a little, slightly, considerably, definitely, and certainly to add emphasis. For example, children's TV films are better than they used to be. Children's TV films are better than they used to be. If you want to add emphasis on the meaning of the sentence, we can add considerably, okay? So here, we add them just to add emphasis, right? We can use the expression by far to add emphasis in the superlative form. For example, The Lion King is the best TV film of all. We can say The Lion King is by far the best TV film of all. What about here the long adjective? For example, here we have difficult, beautiful, important, interesting. Long adjectives, it means the adjectives which consist of more than one syllable. For example, here difficult, beautiful, important. So here more than one syllable, right? So we call them long adjectives. So here we have to deal with them differently from the positive form, difficult. Difficult. The comparative form, more difficult than. More difficult than. For the superlative form, the most difficult. The most difficult. What about beautiful here? Beautiful, we can say more beautiful than. For the superlative, the most beautiful. Okay? Important. More important than. The most important. Interesting. More interesting than the most interesting. So here we have to add more before the adjective, and then after the adjective, and for the superlative we add the plus most, and then followed by the adjective. Now look at the picture here. We have different kinds of chairs. We have this chair which is comfortable. This blue one is more comfortable than this, and the sofa here is the most comfortable, is the most comfortable chair. The brown chair is comfortable. Comfortable, long adjective. Comfortable. The blue chair is more comfortable than the brown one. Here we make a comparison between the blue chair and the brown one. The blue chair is more comfortable than the brown one. We add more, to indicate the comparative form. What about the sofa? The sofa is the most comfortable one. The sofa is the most comfortable one. This is for the superlative form. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the adjectives in parentheses. Number 1, Mercury is, the adjective here is close, to the sun than any other planet. Now here, do you think that we have to use the comparative form, closer, or the superlative form, the closest? What do you think? Is here a comparison between two things or items, or it's a superlative form, more than two? So what do you think here? Close, and here the keyword is than. It's a key word, so it's a comparison. So we have, so it's a comparative form. We can say that, Mercury is closer to the sun than any other planet. Number 2, the planet that is, here the adjective is far. The planet that is from the earth is Neptune. The planet that is from the earth is Neptune. So here, what's the correct form? Is it superlative or comparative? That is from the earth is Neptune. So it's a superlative, the furthest or farthest. The furthest or the farthest, all right? Number 3, Pluto has been called a dwarf planet because it's considerably smaller than any of the planets in our solar system. So what do you think here? Than any of the planets in our solar system. What do you think here? Is it comparative or superlative? So it's comparative. So we have to say Pluto has been called a dwarf planet. Dwarf, it means smaller than usual. Because it's considerably smaller. Smaller. E-R. It's a short adjective. Number 4, Brad has 3 brothers and all one is an astrophysicist, right? So here, astrophysicist here, it means a person who studies a branch of physics which concern on the astronomical phenomena, right? So this is the meaning of astrophysicist. So Brad has 3 brothers, and what do you think is, we have to say the oldest one or older one? Which one is the correct? Of course, the oldest or the eldest, all right? The eldest one or the oldest one. Number 5, being in the anti-gravity simulator made Faisal feel dizzy, but he's much well. You remember when we talk about well as something related to the health, or healthy here means healthy. So we can say better, but he's much better now, comparative. Number 6, Mars is hot than Jupiter and Saturn, but it's icy than Earth. we have than, and here also than. So it's a comparative. We can say that Mars is hotter than Jupiter and Saturn, but it's icier than Earth. We have to be careful about the T. We have to duplicate T if we add ER. And also we have to change Y, icy, to I. We add ER, icier. Okay, don't forget this point. Now let's move to the third part here, as and as adjective as. Here we have, okay, two persons. The first one here we have Sami and Badr, and here we have Sami and Fahad. If we want to compare the heights of Sami and Badr and Sami and Fahad, we have to say that Sami is taller than Badr. Badr is shorter than Sami. Okay, what about here Sami and Fahad? Can we say that Sami is taller than Fahad? Or Fahad is shorter than Sami? Do you think, okay, they are their height is different, or they are equal in the height? They are equal. So for in this case, we can use as, all right? We can use as. So we can say that Sami is as tall as Fahad. Sami is as tall as Fahad. As plus adjective plus as. This is okay in the case of equality, okay? What about if they are different? We can say that Sami is taller or Badr is shorter, but also we can use as, but how? Badr is not as tall as Sami. Is not as tall as Sami. We have to use not. Is that clear? So here we add as plus adjective plus as for equality, and not as plus adjective plus as for non-equality, okay? Number 4, the comparative when we use this form. Okay, look at the picture here. Okay, the longer the telephone call, the bigger the telephone bill. The man here talks a lot on the phone, and here we find that the price of the bill is so high. So the longer the telephone call, the bigger the telephone bill. In this case, if we have a cause and a result, okay, we can use the plus the adjective with er, comparative form, the plus comparative form, I mean by comparative form, the adjective with er in the short, or more plus adjective in the adjective. The longer the telephone call, the bigger the telephone bill. Write sentences with as. The first sentence here, detective stories are easy to follow. Science fiction is just as easy. So how can we use as with this sentence? Science fiction stories are just as easy to follow as detective stories. Here we use as, easy to follow as detective story. Okay? Number 2, the original film's plot is intriguing. The plot of the sequel is less intriguing. Intriguing here it means curious, okay, or amusing. The original film's plot is intriguing, so how can we use as? And here we have the plot of the sequel is less intriguing. They are not equal. We can say that the plot of the sequel is not as intriguing as the original film's plots. Here we have not as, because we see that here less, okay? So finally here, okay, we learned today comparatives for short adjectives. We have adjective plus er, and then long adjectives more plus adjective, and then, and for superlatives more than 2. Short adjectives we add the plus the adjective plus est. For the long adjectives we add the most plus the adjective. For using as in the case of equality or non-equality, here we have to use as plus adjective plus as, or not as plus adjective plus as. Is that clear? So this is the end of our lesson. I hope all of you enjoy. For references, you can go over the box here and Google clip art for pictures. And for more information on lesson, you can visit the website here or contact the Twitter account, or call the number here. This is all for now. Hope to see you inshallah next time. Goodbye.